Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP, and once again, this is the 1-day chart. We're sitting here just under 54 cents. We actually moved up a little bit today with Bitcoin, which is also moving upward. And that's why I always like to point out that we're still following Bitcoin. Now, here's the kicker. People are saying Bitcoin is going to pull all the way down under 20K before it actually takes off. If that happens, XRP will absolutely pull back with it, and I will end up buying the dip once again. And a lot of people are still saying we could dip down into the 20-cent range if that happens. But again, people are basing it on previous cycles and things that have happened in the past. This time could be different, so always expect the unexpected. Yesterday's video, I talked a little bit about a $10 XRP by summer. But what I was talking about is if the Ripple SEC case finally came to an end and we start to see some adoption happen here in the United States, or the Ripple versus SEC case can end and it will become a sell the news event, meaning that XRP could actually move up really fast and then pull back down. We're going to have to see what happens when the time comes. But I'm waiting to see what happens after that case ends with adoption here in the United States. I'm thinking that's what could drive the price of XRP. Wow, first only Uphold Inc. was telling us the entire time about XRP. Then it was also Gemini. Now it's BitTrue Official. Why are they doing this? And you see, if you like XRP, like this tweet. If you love XRP, retweet this tweet. If you want to tell us how much you love XRP, comment on this tweet. It's never too late to buy XRP. Are we hodling XRP? Now, I always thought, they're just trying to drive some engagement from the XRP community, stir up some business for BitTrue. But maybe they're all warning us on what comes next. Because, we are going to see a massive run-up this year for XRP. It's going to happen. And I think all these exchanges, they want to make sure that you choose that exchange when you're ready to buy some more XRP. But, when they're all telling you this is where what we're looking at, you need to pay attention. Ripple is a gold sponsor at the Digital Euro Conference in Frankfurt, February 29, 2024. Ripple is also part of the panel discussion when the rubber meets the road. I'm sure they're going to talk about the digital euro. Brad will most likely have a sit down with Christine Lagarde as well. But it's not just the digital euro. The digital pound could take many forms, CBDC, stablecoin, or otherwise. We aim to support all new forms of digital money. With the collective knowledge of our members, we're working towards a positive and inclusive future for digital finance in the UK. And you see Quant and Ripple right there. And I think a lot of things are getting tied together now. And everything's happening at a very fast pace now. People a couple years ago would have said, yeah, this isn't going to happen for a decade. But it's different. We are at the point where we're ready to see all the rails come together, and all of a sudden XRP is running on those rails. Exciting news. Canada is in discussion with Ripple to seamlessly incorporate XRP into their CBDC financial systems. I think they're fast-tracking a CBDC in Canada as well, because they're on board on the same path as the UK and Europe as well. But here in the United States, we're still lagging behind. And I think that's a wise decision on part of the United States. See what happens in other countries with digital money before you start to push full steam ahead. But however, I still think there's a lot of politicians pushing for a CBDC to be created before the next election even happens. That's why I said 2024 could be a very strange year, but I think we're all going to get somewhat rich this year. But by next year, we could really see the price of XRP because a lot of things are happening in a lot of different directions. Everybody talks about cross-border payments, and that was Ripple's first step. Then they branched off and went in so many other directions. And I'm even going to talk about derivatives in today's video as well. Blockchain, DLT, tokenization, wealth redistribution, dismantling the cabal, global restructuring, common law, level playing field, unstoppable momentum, administration of justice, deep state dissolution, game over, central bankers, resistance is futile, executive order 13772. Now 13772, Biden put an end to that executive order, but I think he was too late when he did that. I think everything was already set in motion. It was the same reason that Rosie Rios is always saying that the train has left the station. Once that momentum started, there was no stopping it. And I think Biden was too late with the pen is what I'm saying. Validators depart as Ripple Dev proposes changes at XRP Ledger Foundation, sparking controversy. David Fueling, Director of Software Engineering at RippleX, is advocating for significant changes to the governance structure of the XRP Ledger Foundation. Now, what this is about is this right here. In replying to Fueling's post on the proposal, David Schwartz, Ripple CTO, commended Fueling for clarifying the proposal to the public. Schwartz revealed that Fueling had privately shared the proposal with him and the XRP LF before taking it public. According to Ripple CTO, the reception from the XRP LF Ledger Foundation was favorable. However, he stressed that Fueling needed no permission to make the proposal. Schwartz emphasized that the community is not obligated to take the proposal without changes, as it was all open for discussion. While Fueling has also confirmed that the proposal is open to discussion, input, and proposed changes from the broader community, some individuals have not received it well. Notably, they believe the proposal is an attempt at a takeover from Ripple. Maybe the central banks are pushing Ripple in this direction. They want them to have more control over the XRP ledger going forward. Because you got to understand, we're talking about the world's money. And they want to make sure somebody's in control of that. I think they want to end that whole idea of decentralization when it comes to payments. Maybe they want something different put in place first. Who knows where this is going? I'm definitely going to continue to keep up on this and keep you informed on this, because I think a lot of these banks are pushing Ripple in different directions for a reason. Same reason Brad went towards tokenization and custody. I think the banks were really pushing for that, the big financial institutions. At the same time, I still think we're going to make a lot of money off of it, though, as XRP holders. I know people think this is a nothing burger, and they could be right. But then Kendra Hill did talk about derivatives being the main focus for Ripple and XRP. The cross-border payment lie. If you were to do research on Ripple, the company, and XRP, the token, you would come up to the conclusion that the goal is to replace SWIFT as the world's leading cross-border payments provider. What if I was to say that Ripple does not care about cross-border payments and that replacing SWIFT is only a short-term plan? In the digital age, you are able to connect with anyone around the world in seconds. For this reason, using one digital currency would be ideal. Not only is one currency all that is needed, it would be more efficient if we were all to use the one single currency. So what would happen to a cross-border payment provider when the world is using digital currency that can be sent from one wallet to another? The cross-border payment provider is no longer needed. I assume this is all very simple to understand. The purpose of this blog is to help you understand. If Ripple was only focused on cross-border payments and nothing else, their success would be short-lived. They knew this before XRP even existed. Think of cross-border payments as a nice testing ground to prepare Ripple for the use case they've been focused on since the very beginning. The true intentions of Ripple are to handle 100% of transactions which take place in the derivative market. So, why do they not make this public knowledge? For multiple reasons. The most important one is that they are not ready. They are missing a piece to the puzzle, and that piece is called Codius. Now, remember, in the past, you've heard of Codius. David Schwartz talks about it right here. Take a listen.
I shared this idea with Stefan a couple of years ago. He called it Codius plus plus. It's still pretty far off, but you could imagine a world where you have a federated sidechain and one of its validators just goes away, it disappears. And the other validators say, oh no, like we're supposed to have 26 validators and we only have 25. And they go and they find another hosting service using Codius, and they stand up a new validator. They launch its software, they get the key, the public key from that new validator, and then they go through a key ceremony, and they then add that new validator back into their quorum to restore their own health. Mm-hmm. Now, that's incredibly cool. We need a lot of things both on the federated sidechain side and on the Codius side for that to happen. But the crypto to make that happen is very doable. Like the crypto to do that is not a problem. It's pretty simple. You can use something called erasure coding, and it works really well to regenerate a healthy quorum. I would love to see that happen, but it's just a lot of work. But you could imagine this world.
So I don't think it's quite ready yet. Did you hear what David said? It's a lot of work, but it's possible. And if they were to take over the derivatives market, this is what it means for the price of XRP. Ripple has also been making waves in the world of derivatives. This could be a game changer, as derivatives are a major focus for the company and could lead to a massive $10 trillion market. Ripple's market cap at $10 trillion would make each XRP worth about $183.91, an upside of 350x. It's like Ripple is playing 4D chess while the rest of us are still trying to figure out checkers. I thought that was a great post. But that's what it means for us as XRP holders. I think cross-border payments is also going to bring a lot of money in as well. And that could also get us to 3 digits. You see how the price of XRP can change over time based on the different markets Ripple's going into. I think they started with cross-border payments because once they got that mastered and they could actually show a final product on that, something that actually works, and it's very cheap, very fast, and very secure, then all of a sudden they could start to take over the derivatives market as well. Literally warned in a video yesterday this would happen. Mainstream crypto outlets telling you regs could screw us soon. And you know, this is what I've been looking at as well. Because a lot of people, they've been talking about this, but they haven't really gone into any major discussion on this. After the 2008 global financial meltdown, Congress set up a roundtable of regulators who could wield a unique tool against the next emerging threats. The Financial Stability Oversight Council can tag companies with systemic risk labels that saddle them with tremendous new restrictions, and the crypto sector has the council's attention. In November, the FSOC, a collection of heads of the U.S. Department of Treasury, Federal Reserve, Securities and Exchange Commission, and other agencies erased some key changes from the Trump era that had neutered the council's power to designate companies as threats. It's now back in full effect, even if the authority has long remained dormant. At any time, the council could decide that one of the giants in the digital asset sphere, say a stablecoin issuer such as Circle, could wound their wider financial system in the event of a failure, something akin to American International Group Inc.'s role in the mortgage collapse of 2008. When the FSOC affixes that tag on a business, it becomes a regulatory ward of the Fed, subjected to a number of compliance demands and supervision. So say, for instance, they were to do that. Say they said USDC is now a threat to the financial system, and all of a sudden they have to meet a bunch of regulatory, requirements before they could continue to push forward. It would stop them dead in their tracks, because everything in this country moves at such a snail's pace. Everything would come to a halt very quick. That could also be a major black swan event at some point in the future. They could also use this when it comes to ETFs as well. All they need is one problem with an ETF, and that whole thing is going to come crashing down all at once here in the US. Overseas, it'll push on because over there they have a clear path forward. But that's why I tell you, you're a crypto investor. Always expect the unexpected. And that's why I always said, when you sit there and stare at the price of XRP on a daily basis, and you're wondering why the price isn't moving, it's because everything has to be put in place first. We're definitely going to run up if Bitcoin runs up right now. But if Bitcoin crashes down, we're going to crash down with it until XRP is running on its actual utility. That's when all of a sudden we're going to see the price change very fast. It's going to happen around a lot of these ISO cryptocurrencies in the very near future, because everything around that is right now getting ready for the next phase. And even when they talked about ISO, they said it was going to happen in waves: wave 1, wave 2, and wave 3. And even Christine Lagarde said wave 2 is going to be bigger than wave 3 that comes in 2025. Wave 2 is going to happen this year. And that's why I always said, we could see a lot of value come from this in a very short time. But until it all happens, you got to stay patient and stay positive. Let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.